The most recent squad values have come out, and guess what? Manchester United is dropping in the polls, 10th place. We wish we were 10th place in the Premier League, but United are now valued at having a less valuable squad than Tottenham Hotspur. Sirs, say it ain't so. These are probably accurate, but that is a gut punch if you've ever seen one.
Look, this is per transfer market. United squad is 694 million euros. We've used transfer market, valuations in the past, but look, the Anthony valuation on transfermarket.com isn't real. It's not what someone's going to pay. Supply and demand goes a long way. Who the agent is. So, like, for example, we're not going to get what Sancho's worth on transfer market. So you got to take this with a grain of salt. But we do know Manchester United's squad value is dropping, and the main issue is what we paid for that squad, right? Because it's a net loss to United, and we're going to have to recoup a lot of as much as we can for the players we have. I mean, think of Anthony on loan, Sancho, and Rashford. How much could we get for those players? Are we even going to sell any of those three? So I would even question if United squad is even worth the 700 million euros they have listed here. But obviously, City increasing to the top of the list at number one. They splashed almost 200 million euros in January. That's probably what will get them to the top over Real Madrid and Arsenal. But you have to also shout out Arsenal up there because, they paid quite a bit for that team. It's worth a lot. And Liverpool as well. But they're going to lose Trent Alexander-Arnold. So they're going to go down in value. I feel like United currently losing this game. You want to see that green arrow, not the red. And this is interesting because squad value doesn't mean league position at the end of the day.
No, it doesn't. And you made a really good point because ours is probably overinflated given the fact that they're still, valuing certain players that we overpaid for close to the actual amount of money that United paid, which is an unbelievable figure for some of these players. Like you said, so United, this is just a decade plus of poor recruitment coming home to roost, and it'll probably fall further in the coming few years as we kind of turn this squad over, and we need to figure things out because Arsenal, they didn't get there by spending $1 billion plus. It's like, Gabriel, 20 million, Saliba, and all of a sudden you have two of the best center backs in the world and you bought them for, less than definitely less than we spent on Harry Maguire. So United has work to do in the recruitment. Like I said, we're going to fall further because we're going to turn the squad over and you're going to lose players that are overinflated as it relates to transfer market. But United need to get back to basics, and that's buying up and coming, hungry players who, haven't had the name brand that breaks on through. Like even the Victor Osimhen's of the world scare me. I'd rather go for players that we know are not going to be kind of wage first. He's an unbelievable player, but we need players that are happy to play in the system, can grind it out in the Premier League, have that quality. I want Victor Osimhen, of course, but I think we have to get back to like a whole different philosophy, and that's going for young, unproven, or like high potential. And we've got a long way to go. But I think, like you said, like you look at Villa's squad, it's probably worth more than us in reality. Maybe not on paper, but I feel like United could fall further as it relates to this table.
Yeah, just like Jadon Sancho's 30 million euros on transfer market. I doubt we're going to get that for him. Rashford, 50 million euros. Right now, are we going to get that? It's up in the air. Højlund, they have him at 45 million euros. Like I'd put him probably even lower than that right now. Anthony, they have at 20 million euros. I'd like to think he'd be closer to the 30 million euro mark. So look, these values are going up and down, but it's probably a good barometer overall of where United is. 10th in the world isn't bad, but what United needs to focus on, like you mentioned, is buying young players and having their value increase over time instead of paying top dollar for like the Anthony's and then having them lose value over time. Less Sancho and Anthony's, more Dogus and Garnachos, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. And we don't have money that we can legally launder into our team like Man City, who's literally leapfrogged us with their 115 charges to get to the top of the list. So just remember that when you do see City at the top of the list, they've done it with financial doping, and that's a problem and something that should be highlighted at the end of the day, where you look at Chelsea is running into PSR problems, United is running into PSR problems, but Man City just keeps the gravy train rolling because they're overstating their revenues and have done for over a decade. So look, let us know what you think in the comments below. Are Manchester United going to fall even more, or Ineos could invest correctly and get us back to the promised land? I think in the top five is where United probably should be hanging out long term We have quite a ways to go. Like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Only 30% of people who watch our videos actually subscribe, and we'll see you in the next Manchester United video.